the food topic. It's important for many of you. It's very important for my wife, so not too much for me. Food is mostly functional for me, but for my wife it's extremely important. So I understand how important it can be for many of you guys. Paraguay, there's a lot of food. A friend of me told me they produce 20 times more food than it is necessary for the people. Hola. Buen día. And you see it when you arrive here. It's actually here a bit difficult to find information online about that, but supermarkets have a high quantity of food. I've been surprised by, you go to a supermarket in the West, you may struggle to find fresh food. There's fruits and stuff like that. Like Europe, we've got a lot of fruits coming from Spain. But a lot of things are frozen or not really fresh food. Here, there's a lot of fresh food. In terms of access to meat, because meat is a big topic in the context where globalists try to reduce our consumption, even bring it to zero consumption of meat. There's high access to meat. The meat is very cheap. You can eat meat from basically 1.5 euro per kg. And good meat, and with fat and exactly what you... I've been basically changing different type of diet, trying different type of diet, and when I come back to meat, I feel great. I feel really great. And in Paraguay, I feel much better than where I used to be before. So from 1.5 kg per from 1.5 euro per kg, let's say $2, 1.8, 1.7 US dollar per kg. You've got different type of meat. You've got meat with really good fat. The meat is amazing. You eat piece of meat that are just mind blowing. The quality and the taste, the savor of the meat. There's less access to vegetable and fruits. It's a bit paradoxical because you would expect that there's a lot of fruit and vegetable, but because of the intensity of the sun and the quantity of the insect, whatever you grow, you basically need to protect it. Otherwise, the sun will basically burn, damage the fruits or the vegetable, and the insect will eat your stuff. So I saw, for instance, German people trying to grow their own fruits and vegetables, and they were telling me basically we're losing 50 to 60% of what we plant to the sun and the insect because they didn't put in place protective measures. But what does it mean? So I was like talking to a friend called Silvio, and we were saying, well, why don't we see a lot of fruits and vegetables in supermarkets? And the price is actually paradoxically pretty high. If you take some fruits and vegetables, they reach 5, 6, 7 euro per kg, so much more expensive than what you would be accessing in Spain or in the US, for instance. You take strawberry is easily at 4 euro per kg, 5 euro per kg. You can get that at 2 euro per kg in France maybe, or in Spain. So it's more expensive. But why? Because locals will need to protect what they grow and stuff like that. It means more infrastructure, more cost, and that's not doable for them. Okay. So if you look at Paraguay, let's come back to just food. So a lot of access to food. There's really no problem of accessing food. Your basket is also way cheaper than in the West. I'm very surprised if I spend 20 euro in the supermarket, I get 2 to 3 times more things to it of maybe the similar or better quality than in the West. that is insane. It's basically feels good to regain purchase power. Basically, you spend 20 euro in the West, and you get not much things in your trolley, right, or in your basket. Here, no. For 20 euro, you're really impressed with what you get. What you get means that your food budget should literally decrease. I think I have close to half my food budget versus Spain here. And food budget would include also what you spend on the pets as well, because the food, just an aparté on the food for the animals. The croquettes for the dogs, the dog food is more expensive. If you want the same quality as you get in the West, you can get really cheap stuff, but I wonder about the quality of that. You can feed your dog. Many foreigners do that. They feed their dog directly with bones, pucherito it's called, from the supermarket. So it's basically bones from cows whatsoever, and it's way more healthy for the dog, right? You've got pucherito, you've got the liver, all the organs, things that humans sometimes don't eat. Big piece of fat. This is good for your animal, and I see it for the pets of the people around. Raw meat also seems to be preventing parasite in the pets. So basically, you can also reduce the food budget for your pets here as well. So the overall food budget for the family. Cheese for French people. I'm going to cover different things. There's not much cheese. Cheese quality is much lower than what you would see in the West, especially if you come from Europe. If you want to buy imported cheese, you're gonna pay a premium. It's going to be expensive. You may find things like camembert and basic stuff like that remind you of the taste of good cheese. But that's it. Don't bet on consuming the same quantity of cheese if you love to eat cheese. Charcuterie. There's a lot of charcuterie, especially the German people here developed this industry of charcuterie. So you've got options because there's a lot of meat here as well. There's a lot of meat because there's access to cows. You're gonna see cows almost everywhere who have access to good pasture, good land for eating. There's no intensive farming here. It might be at some point, right? There's some location in Paraguay, but overall, no, right? You've got goats. In terms of animal that we see in the nature, goats, sheep. You've got goose, nendu, ducks, quite a lot of animals. And so that translates in what you get in your plate, basically. Dessert. Dessert in Paraguay. I mean, I love dessert. Sorry, I'm French, but dessert in Paraguay are amazing. They are good. They're basically the quality and the price of what we used to get in France 20 to 25 years ago. Remember when you used to pay 1 euro, let's say 10 francs, which is the old French currency, 10 francs for a cake that is really nice and big. This is what you get here in Paraguay, basically. You get a crazy diversity of desserts. I was expecting, I didn't expect that as well, but it's good. But it's a lot of sugar, huh? So be careful about that. It's really maybe not that great, but I know some people love dessert, like dessert. Access to tea, you've got the diversity of tea, imported tea. You've got the local tea, the tereré. I'm not sure if it's really good for your health or it's a bit of addiction. I'm not sure for you to judge. You've got access to water, which is part of food as well. Different, you've got water bottle. There's really no problem. They basically bring you, it's common here to use the very large quantity of water, so it's a 20-liter bottle that is delivered to your door. it's cheap. The price per liter is not expensive. I mean, if you come from the West, for local it might be expensive, and they may just have their well or use the well of the community. There's a lot of soft drinks because enterprises like Coca-Cola try to capture and basically entertain this market. So you're gonna see ads for Coca-Cola and almost everywhere. A lot of people here drink Coca-Cola like we would drink water, which will impact their health at some point. Sorry, Coca-Cola, if you don't like that, but it's like, this is the truth. You basically get people addicted to it. Literally, kids of 3-4 years old will start drinking Coca-Cola. It's totally insane, and it's again most basic health advice. But yeah, people drink Coca-Cola like they would drink water. I think there's no education around quality food here. So yeah, talking about food, you see a lot of quite a number of women who start to be literally obese. Basically, they are way overweight due to what they consume. Not sure exactly what's the reason, but you see some, I think, mostly in the people who don't have access to a lot of money, who are basically poor. They may just buy high quantity of junk food, chips. You see in the supermarket a lot of snacking. You see a lot of snack at the cashier, which tell you that there's demand for that is being used and consumed. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. Not a good sign. I think there's an education. So I'm talking about you guys who want to move to Paraguay, or you who have decided to move to Paraguay, or you would try to integrate yourself in Paraguay. But it's about also educating the local population versus all these traps. Because if they fall in these traps, basically we're creating the society of the West that we try to live, and it's not cool. In terms of food, okay, let's continue. Access to restaurants. There's quite a number of restaurants. You can easily eat in the street. There's what we call food stall, basically food charrette. A bit like in Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, what you can find in Southeast Asia, Indonesia. They make grill in the street. So what is really useful, actually, and is that you can access food in the street, but it's not bad food. It's properly cooked. The food is of quality, so you can eat in the street very quickly. It's super convenient, especially meat. So you've got your daily dose of protein very quickly. It's convenient. Trying to give me 1 second in my thinking. Yeah. Then you've got a range of restaurants, Paraguayan food, Argentinian food, Brazilian as well. You've got the concept of buffet. So you pay a fixed price and then you eat as much as you want. It's insane. It's I have, like, you take for instance Ogosho, which is a branch in Ascension in San Bernardino, and you pay 160,000 or 170,000 guaranis, which is equivalent to 20 euros, and you eat as much as you want. I think it's the best restaurant in terms of price quality that I have ever been in the world. Simple. It's simple. There's the equivalent, for instance, in Indonesia, where the food is of quality, but the ratio between what you spend and what you access is just mind-blowing. It's just, and you access basically almost, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 type of food and nourishment that you can consume as much as you want. This is beyond what most people would see in their country or in their city, in megapole and stuff like that, basically. In Japan, you would basically spend 20 euro for one single dish, and in most cities as well. In Paris, most capital, you spend that amount of money for one single dish, would may not be even of great quality. And I say buffet, you have meat included as much as you want in terms of meat included in what you eat. Of course, if you eat too much meat, they will not do a smile to you, and that's understandable because the meat at some point might be pricey for them, and less margin on that. Let's continue on food. I try to provide you as much information as you need so that you can be convinced, not convinced, but sure, comfortable with the food aspect of Paraguay, because for many of you, access to food is important. There's less access to fish because we are not near the sea. There's fish in the river. Some people go fishing. The water quality in some river is good. You will find a lot of foreigners that go fishing and will consume what they fish, and it's fine. But don't expect to find much restaurant for fish. There are very few, right? So if you someone who consumes a lot of fish, don't expect to get that in Paraguay. Even frozen fish in supermarket, I didn't find much at all. What else? Coffee. There's access to coffee also as well. Quite a range of coffee. Hola, buen día. There's quite a lot of access to coffee, but you are in South America, so it's not surprising. I'm thinking if I forget something important for you guys. No. We're gonna stop there because it's already a good 15 minutes. I don't want to be boring, but please feel free to ask any question that you want in regard to food. Challenge what I'm saying if you think something is incorrect. It's very important, right? That you get access to information. And then, well, one thing, in the current context, it's might be difficult to do a pre-trip to Paraguay before deciding to move here or not, unfortunately, given the current context in August 2024. But if you can come here and check it, search on YouTube video. I will try to go to a number of restaurants and number of places to show you in this food section what you can access, at what price. I'll try to be extremely concise and precise and based basically on facts, what you can access and at what price. All right, cheers.